Jaci Velasquez had #1 hits, platinum albums, Grammy nominations, and almost as quickly as she shot to stardom, she lost it all. Her record label, her reputation, even her marriage. Take a look.
Jaci Velasquez's singing career skyrocketed to stardom when she was only 16. Everything she touched seemed to turn to gold, until it all came crashing down.
Soon after sudden fame in music, my career stalled, my young marriage failed, and I felt like the story of my life was broken and useless. Life was not going how I had planned.
In her book, When God Rescripts Your Life, Jaci shares her journey of ups and downs, letting you know that no matter what your life looks like now, God can take your broken pieces and repurpose them into something beautiful.
Jaci Velasquez is here with us now, and welcome back to the 700 Club.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I get to talk to you this time. I love that I get to have these experiences and meet new people and just have fun with you.
Well, I don't always get to meet someone when I've just arrived in the morning, and I had a hat on, a flannel shirt on, and you said, "Where's your flannel?"
Well, I mean, you look so good in it, though. It worked.
Well, you're very sweet, very sweet. Well, you had a platinum album, Jaci, when you were just 16 years old. What was that like for you?
It was surreal. I kind of felt like a Cinderella kind of thing, you know, just having that experience where people, people enjoy the music and they're actually like buying the record. I mean, I never would have thought in a billion years that that would have happened.
I remember your first album so well, and On My Knees was one of my favorite songs that you did. I'm sure so many people remember that one. Everything was going great for you. You had success. Your music career was taking off. You had a record label. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling. What was happening?
I think I was young and given a lot, there was a lot on my plate. So sometimes with the success, there comes a lot of yes people, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever you say, okay, you're right, whatever you think. And then you start believing the yeses after a while.
Yeah.
So instead of really seeking out the wisdom of the elders, and then when you do seek out that wisdom, sometimes we're stubborn in our youth. We don't want to listen to it because we think we know better. But I think that for me, I had chosen to do a film called Chasing Poppy back in 2000. It was originally supposed to be like a PG-13 film, but thankfully the director was willing to take a bunch of the scenes away that I felt uncomfortable with, and it became a PG film. But it was on 20th Century Fox. It still wasn't a Christian film.
Right.
It was about, 3 girls who all found out they were dating the same guy.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
It's funny. It was totally a rom-com, but it did create some...
Your fans, a lot of them didn't like that you were doing something that wasn't totally Christian, right?
The fans and some of the industry as well just didn't, a lot of people kind of canceled events that I was on.
That really, really hurt you, didn't it?
Oh, it was very difficult for me because I felt like, hey, I thought we were a community, and now I'm an outsider kind of feeling.
And at the same time, your first marriage had unraveled.
Well, actually, the way it went down was I made a poor mistake by choosing to do the film. But we all make mistakes. And the problem was I tried to go in there and fix the mistake that I had made by making another mistake. So at times, I think in life, we try to DIY our mistakes.
You thought you could get your reputation back by getting married and being...
And seeming like, hey,
the perfect Christian woman.
She's safe. She's grown up. So I DIY'd one mistake with another mistake and got divorced a year and a couple months later. And then after that whole ordeal, I decided to run away. The only problem with running away is you still take you with you.
Right. Well, how did God rescript your life? Your book is called, and I love this title because it's so true, When God Rescripts Your Life. How did God turn it all around?
Oh, my goodness. How hasn't he turned it around? I feel like he's constantly in the business of rescripting our stories and rescripting our lives. Sometimes it's based on the poor choices we've made. He is going to redirect the path and make lemonade out of lemons.
Romans 8:28.
Exactly.
All things work together for good.
Those who are in Christ. Yes. Also, at times, we have this idea, this concept, and this plan, these dreams at times we confuse with God's calling. Our dreams, God's calling. Our vision, God's calling. So I think a lot of times, like for me, he rescripted some of my choices, poor choices, and he also rescripted some of the things in my life that I didn't really see coming. Like our oldest son, Zealand, he just turned 12. He is on the spectrum for autism, but
and this was something you didn't script. You didn't script having an autistic child.
That's not the plan I had.
Let's just back it up. You did get remarried in 2006.
Yes. Oh, yes. Let me back that. Okay. So, in 2006, the boy that I had dated prior to making the movie, who told me no, don't make the movie, ends up calling me while I'm in Florida after I just come back from running away. So I was living in England. I came back, and he called me, and about 4 months later, 5 months after he flew to Nashville to take me on a date, we got married.
You realized he was the one.
He was always the one. But I was so stubborn. Youth is wasted on the young. Okay.
Anyway, Zealand is your 12-year-old autistic child, and how he's doing well?
He's doing very well, and it's a part of the story that I didn't see coming, because I remember when he was in my belly, I prayed for 10 fingers, 10 toes. I got them. Perfect 10 fingers, perfect 10 toes. And, you know, at 19 months old, they were like, we saw that he wasn't meeting the milestones other kids his age were meeting. So that's not the script that I would have had for my son.
Yeah.
Or that I pictured for our lives. But that's the script that God had for us.
And your other son is how old?
He is 10.
And what's his name?
Soren.
Okay, we don't want to forget him.
He is so cute. He is so cute. He is the little brother to the coolest big brother, and he's the coolest little brother ever.
I love it. Well, your last album was called Trust. And that's also a theme really throughout your life, throughout your CD. What have you learned about trust, Jaci?
I've learned that trusting is hard. Trusting is hard because, you know, you look at, like in your marriage, you have to trust each other. Yeah. Relationships, it's hard to trust. But I do know that we serve a God who is faithful. And the core, that key word in the word faithful is faith. Yeah. So we have faith that he is faithful. He keeps his promises. In the Bible, he made over 7,000, and he keeps every one of them. Sometimes those promises look different than what we think. And sometimes he shows up. He's like the cable guy sometimes. He shows up when he feels like showing up. He just gives us like a window.
Right.
And so he's going to keep his promise. He's going to show up in his timing, and it's going to be perfect. And that is how I've learned to trust, that it is not easy, but it is so necessary.
Well, we're so glad that you still love singing, because you're going to do that for us in just a minute. And we are actually going to let you go on over to the set there to get ready to sing for us. We've only just scratched the surface of Jaci's story. And for more, be sure to get a copy of her brand new book. It's called When God Rescripts Your Life, and it's available in stores nationwide. It will so encourage you. Jaci's latest album is called Trust. It's available wherever music is sold.